morning from Classic Hits, Kool 105.5. It's Chickasha, America. Looks like thunderstorms on the way. Complete details coming up on Kool 105.5.
These days, radio has gone so mainstream and non-local that when you've been in the business as long as our group has, it really shows itself to be what radio should not be. So what we try to do here is what radio used to be, and how we all cut our teeth in radio is localism. And it's definitely, it's an easy sell with this group because they have many years of experience.
Classic Hits, Kool 105.5. Good afternoon, Bruce McGrew at 2:06 on a beautiful Wednesday.
You really feel like you're part of the community. They're a part of what we do, and somebody might win a contest, and then you'll see him on the street the next day. And I mean, you run into people at the grocery store that are listeners of yours, and so it just makes it feel like it's real what you're doing. A lot of stations have gotten away from what made radio great in the first place, which was that interaction with the audience. They feel like they know us. Some of our listeners have met us, some have never met us, but they listen to us, they feel like they know us, we connect with them on that level. And this station has stayed local. We still interact with the community. A lot of radio stations have become kind of corporate. They've become detached from the community. They've become satellite, syndicated, and just very much detached from the community. And what made radio strong in the first place was that connection with your local announcers and that involvement in the community. This station has never strayed away from that.
People can call with a lost dog and say, I've lost it, this is where, or they'll call in and say, I found a dog. And we'll put it on the air and get after it and help find rightful owners.
My grandson found his dogs, and he said he sure appreciated the help.
Outstanding. I'm glad we found those dogs for him. By golly. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate it. I love working at a small market. I started out in a small market in Pennsylvania, ended up 28 years in Oklahoma City, but came back down here 5 years ago. I love it. It's literally everybody knows your name. You can do instantaneous everything from lost dogs to real breaking news to telling somebody that, hey, Joe, we're having a fundraiser tonight and we forgot to tell you. Can you tell people to come to the church, the fairground? Local radio is community-oriented. We can carry the local high school football and basketball games, and people rely on us for the weather, not the screaming, the sky is falling, or this is breaking news. But they know that we will tell them what's happening as much as we know and keep them informed as we become informed.
We are fortunate to have a news department. We have a news band. A lot of small-town radio stations don't. They either won't or can't afford it. And that helps keep us connected to what's going on around town.
We offer the listener the local hometown information experience. With our news, it's not the Oklahoma News Network that you can hear on any satellite station.
I just really enjoy the ability to bring important information to the community immediately. I have worked in newspaper, and to me there's just nothing more exciting than to be able to go out on a news event that's happening right now and to cover it as it's happening. You know, in newspaper you've got to wait a day, or if it's on the weekend sometimes it's not until Monday or Tuesday afternoon. But I just really love the immediacy of being able to let people know.
State news, national news is important, but when you're coming back to your home after a long day at work, you want to know what's going on at home and in your backyard. We do not do any state or national news on our news broadcast. It's all local and region.
There's a lot of responsibility to try to keep up with activities not only just in the Chickasha area, but also in areas north and south of us, in Anadarko and other points that are right here in this region. So it's really kind of a big responsibility to let people know as much as they can about what's going on in their own backyards. I guess one of my most memorable stories that we've covered is natural disasters. We had a very bad tornado come through in May of last year that killed a Chickasha resident. So, you know, those kind of things really stick out in your mind. You know, you see tornadoes on TV all the time. We report on them all the time here at the radio station, but to actually see one was really scary and fascinating at the same time. We've also had some flooding issues here in the radio stations in downtown, and we've actually had a flood here at the radio station. So, when you're able to get information out to the public where they won't be able to see it on TV, or maybe their power is out and they've only got a battery-powered radio, we are the only source. So, that's again where kind of we have the opportunity to help out residents, give them information that they need when they couldn't get it anywhere else.
I've always said a couple of things in radio. The best and worst thing about radio is the telephone. It's the same here. We have a show called Swap Shop from 9 to 9:30, and I host it. Give us a call right now at 224-9105. We would love to put you on Swap Shop Live. No commercial businesses, please. And by golly, we would also like to make sure that you do not use alcohol, tobacco, or firearms, at least on the radio. All righty. Good morning. You're on Swap Shop. It is wonderful. People need something or they want to sell something. I can handle it for them.
This morning I've got a rotary tiller for sale. Needs a little bit of repair. Somebody fix them up.
Yes, I still got this treadmill for sale, the love seat, dining room table, and a computer desk for sale.
Yes, we're looking for a chest of drawers.
I'm in dire need of an older model U.S. cellular cell phone. Husband cannot learn the touch phone. He has used a Motorola Razr, and he has used a LG wine or silver. And if anybody has one in the drawer, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I've got 2 free Jack Donkeys.
Swap Shop is fun. More people know me from that. I can go into a store in town or in the area that people, maybe they don't listen to Kool 105.5. Maybe they like country and they listen to Oklahoma City. But if I go in and say, hi, I always want, like I did at a parts store down here. So I was wondering, are you Joe McIntosh from Swap Shop? And yet they've got a country station listening. I said, well, how do you know you're listening? Oh, yeah, but 9 to 9:30, we always listen to Swap Shop. It's a service. It's a small town service. You can't do that in Oklahoma City. You just can't do it. You can do it here, and people rely on that. And you have the people that listen to it because they want to hear what's for sale or they need to sell something or find something. A great portion of the people who listen do it for strictly entertainment value.
I think Swap Shop's a cool show, and I think just reaching out to our local community, I think they do a very good job.
28 hits leads the team, so does his 31 RBI. Swung on it, that's hit to right field, and it is in there for a base hit. One run is going to score.
Our guy, George Plummer, he's like a sports animal, it seems. He is everywhere. Same with the news. Very hardworking and dedicated to what he does. And I admit that that's something I think that also, helps us, with a better standing in the community, because really part of what we have to do is we're here to entertain, but we should serve as well. And so we're in a unique position, I think, as a radio station.
Hi again, everyone. George Plummer in with this Wednesday edition of the Ouachita Valley Sports Report. I've always wanted to be a sports guy. I thought I might, be at another level, but I'm really comfortable doing high school sports. I've done it for almost 25 years now, and I just feel real comfortable with it. And whether it's football or basketball or soccer, I've done just about everything as far as a high school sporting event goes. And there's nothing better than being there when a team wins a state championship, because it's not just for them, it's for their whole community, especially in our region. From about August until the 1st of May, there's a high school sporting event going on almost all the time.
We appreciate Kool 105.5. They cover baseball, football, basketball. My son plays baseball, my daughter plays basketball. They cover all the sports events. It means a lot to the kids. Their grandparents and parents can, out-of-town games, we can listen to games. So it keeps it exciting, keeps the sports fun. So we appreciate the local radio station taking care of our kids and doing their sporting activities.
We're pretty unique with where we're able to cover Chickasha almost all the time, but you go to like Carl Albert or Del City or El Reno or some of those other communities, they do not have a radio station that will cover their teams like we have the opportunity to do here.
It's really important to our kids. It celebrates all their hard work that they put into it. Our community is still, small and tight-knit, and a lot of our people in the community, that's how they follow our road games. So it builds a lot of fan base for us, and George and Kool 105 have done that for years and years and years, and it's just a staple of our community.
It feels good to let the whole town know that our baseball teams are on there so they can come out and support us.
I think these kids look forward to being on the radio and knowing that the people back home are getting to listen to it, and just the excitement of being on air and knowing that they're going to get recognized is huge, and the kids always look forward to being on the radio.
It's my business to I'll find things that I think that our listeners would be interested in, the ones who follow us, and post that, and we do that throughout the day. And I like to get talk back, interact with them when they send us messages. I'm usually the one who writes back. And it is another way of really getting connected. That we didn't have when I began. A longer time ago than I care to admit. But it's been really interesting to see what people react to, and what they like and what they don't like. It's a way of learning more about what they want, how to serve them, what they're wanting to see. Not only here on the air, but what they like to see when they check in on the Facebook page. And since I began, we started with I think we were somewhere in the 800s as far as friends. Now we're just shy of 1,500 in the last year, and it's been nice to see that grow. The amount of time that people have spent with radio has not really declined very much at all, not very significantly. But there is a growing part of people's day to spend time on Facebook or on Twitter or other social media sites. And so I think it's important not only for us, but for other small radio stations especially, to be a part of that.
I think they do a fantastic job. We're friends with them on Facebook, and we see lots of their posts on Facebook's comical, but they do a really good job of supporting the local businesses and the local schools and churches and things like that. They do a great job.
So it's really about getting out of what people perceive radio and what they hear radio is like in a major market. And it is very much neighborly.
I go out to lunch, somebody will come and sit down with me, talk to me, say, hey, I wanted to know if you could help me with this, or hey, did you know about this, or what can we do about this? It's literally you're a neighbor, you're a friend, and I really like that a lot.
There's a lot of competition these days in radio. There's satellite radio and internet radio and a lot of other things and all that. But I think when it comes down to what is important, what is relevant, there's a storm moving into Chickasha. We'll be on there giving weather coverage. And if there's news happening, we're going to be out there covering it. There's certain things that we can provide a listener that you can't get from a satellite radio, a syndicated show, internet radio, your iPod. And so as long as we keep doing those things, I think this station and stations like it have a chance to be a viable part of the community.